Hello, everyone. It's so great to be here, and I'm so excited to be here with you all today. So, please, if you can hear me loud and clear, can you confirm? You can hear me loud and clear. Please confirm. A thumbs up. Yeah, thank you. You can confirm with a thumbs up. You can hear me loud. Awesome, awesome. Thank you. All right. It's great to be here once again, and I believe we are all excited to be here as much as I am. Right? So this session is brought to you by Amdari. We'll get to know Amdari in a better, in more detail, right? Subsequently. But I mean, from the videos you've played so far, you have an idea of what Amdari does. So the session today will be focusing on how you can gain the experience you need to break into tech and get hired in 3 to 6 months, right? So I would like to know the people on this call. Let's get familiar. Let's get to know each other before we get straight into the business of the day, right? So you can already see my name on the screen, and I can already see your name on the screen. But I would love to know where you are joining from. All right. So where are you joining from, and what tech career path are you currently looking to get a job in? So if you're looking to get a job in data science, for example, you can just say data science and then your location, UK, right? If you want to be specific, you can say Birmingham or any part of the UK that you are currently, located in, right? Or you can just say UK, still works. So what tech career path are you looking to get a job in, and what is your current location? So you don't need to type your name. Like I said, I can already see your names on the screen, but I would just love to know where you're joining from and what tech career path you are trying to get a job in. So Uche is joining us from London. She's looking to get a job in data science. Amazing. Thank you, Uche. Okay, Faye Sheton is looking to get a job in data analytics currently in the UK. Amazing. Thank you, Faye. I'm blessed. Kashmir is a business analyst located in Manchester. Masood, data science located in Hertfordshire. Okay, thank you. Who else is going to introduce themselves? What tech career path are you looking to get a job in, and where are you currently located? Aziz, GRC Northeast. Amazing. Thank you, Aziz. Adekunle, data analytics, Paul, UK. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so I'll just take one or two more people before we dive in. Roland is joining from Manchester. He's looking to get a job in cybersecurity. This is lovely, right? Because I see that I am actually on this call with the people that I have prepared myself the entire week for. So it's good to see. Francisca is joining from London. She's looking to get a job in data analytics. And Victory is joining from Darlington, looking to get a job in cybersecurity. Like I said, this is an amazing discovery about your location and also the tech career path you're looking to get a job in. So let's get straight into it, right? We all here are looking to get a job in one tech career field or another: data science, data analytics, cybersecurity, and the likes. Now, we must have experienced different forms of, should I say, struggle in trying to get the job, right? And this struggle would often stem from lack of experience, or you don't have the required technical skill yet, and all of that. I'd love to know which one is the famous one that you have been, very, very conversant or familiar with in terms of, the struggle. Is it, don't let me put words into your mouth. What's that major struggle in terms of getting a job in tech? You can put it in just one word, right? So for me, for example, in terms of getting a job in tech, the major struggle was experience, right? So let me know what the struggle was for you. So just one word. Was it experience? Was it technical skill? Was it commercial experience? Anything in that direction. So I would love to know what your major struggle has been like. Nobody has typed anything. I said just one word, so you don't need to type. Okay, so I'm blessed says experience to Chinedu, experience. Okay. Keep it coming, guys. But while we have, everybody's saying the same thing so far. Everybody seems to have experienced the same struggle, which is experience, right? Now, that is where Amdari comes in. And that is actually the major problem that Amdari is solving. Francisca says new to tech. Okay. We'll get familiar with you subsequently. Francisca. So now, yes, the struggle is often common. It's always experienced. Now we wonder why these tech recruiters require us to have experience when they know clearly that we say we just gained skill, maybe recently or not, but how will I get the job if I do not have, sorry, how do I get the experience if I do not have the job, right? So that's where Amdari comes into the picture. So we identified this problem. Like I said, one of the struggles for me was also experience. You need experience to be able to thrive in the job market, to be able to stand out in the job market. And identifying this problem on time and working towards, fixing that problem is where Amdari comes into the picture. So we figured out what this problem is for everybody trying to get their first job in tech. It's either this company saying, oh, we need you to have experience of X of so number of years, or they just say experience using a particular software or tool. At the end of the day, experience is in the picture. So Amdari has built this platform where tech professionals in data analytics, data science, data engineering, business analysis, project management, cybersecurity, whether you're specialized in GRC, SOC, or ethical hacking, and come to gain the much needed industry experience in a commercial manner, right? Commercial experience is very important. And what do I mean by commercial experience? Experience working in an actual business setting, because it makes you stand out. And we'll get to that, right? So Amdari has built that structure that properly helps you get this experience as well as rebrand you while at it. And in terms of rebranding, I'm talking everything total package, your CV, your job prep, your interview job preparation sessions, mentorship, and access to a network of fellow like-minded tech professionals. And this way we are able to help you gain the much needed skill, right? The much needed experience. But like I said, not limited to that, because there are a lot of things in terms of gaining experience that we often overlook. So this session would focus on breaking it down for you. So trust me, one thing I can promise you, from this session, you will get value. From this session, you will not see it as a waste of time, right? So I would love for you to stay with me till the very end. And like I said, it's going to be worth your while. I know you most likely would have been doing something else with your time on a weekend, but then you choose to be here. It's definitely for a reason. So I would make sure that you do not, say, I could have been doing something else. Oh, I wasted my time or something like that. That will not be the case, okay? So yes, let's proceed, all right? So who is the brain behind Amdari, or who are the people behind Amdari? We have Ifemena Ipo with wealth of experience across various, across the tech ecosystem, from data to data engineering, data analytics, data science, data engineering. And he has over a decade of experience working in this space. He's currently the co-founder of Amdari and Analytics, and through these platforms, he has been able to help 2,500 plus people gain experience and also land their first jobs in tech. So it's not just about equipping them with the knowledge, but also helping them with everything else in terms of, like I said, total rebranding that will help them land their first job in tech. And he has worked across different organizations, different industries, as well as different countries, from the UK to the US and Canada. And he has worked in the capacity of a data science contractor, business data support lead, and also data analytics manager, and quite a number of other capacities. And he's currently based in Canada. So his name is Ifemena Ipo. He's our co-founder, like I mentioned. All right, so let's meet the second brain behind Amdari. That's Adeza Suleiman. He is a tech expert and has over 10 years experience as well in the tech ecosystem. He's majorly focused in data analytics and management consulting. He has also worked across the UK, US, and Canada, and he is currently the co-founder of Amdari and Analytics. And collectively, with these platforms, he has been able to help over 2,850 plus people to gain experience and get their first job in tech, right? So he's also currently located in Alberta, Canada, and that's our co-founders. And then there is me, Omomi Victoria Samson, and I am a very passionate tech professional, and everything or anything that has to do with human capital development, you would see me there. And that's why the work that we do at Amdari is very dear to my heart. I am currently the chief technology officer and chief operations officer at Amdari, and I have my wealth of experience cutting across software engineering, marketing, product management, and product marketing, as well as tech entrepreneurship. And I have worked in different industries like marketing agencies, ed tech, film tech, and just to mention a few, right? And I already introduced myself as the CTO and CEO of Amdari. So it's a great pleasure to be here with you all today. All right. So if you're excited to be here, please can you give me a thumbs up? You're excited to be here? Give me a thumbs up. All right. Now, what are we going to be focusing on in this session today? First, how do you gain the work experience that we are talking about in 3 to 6 months, right? And make yourself stand a chance to get the job. Thank you, everybody. I see the reaction. And then what's that famous advice, and also the job map. Because once you crack some of these things, trust me, you're on your way to getting that job. And Amdari work experience internship. How does it work? What's the structure like? And how do you plug into this particular opportunity? And then our special offer for you, right? So let's move on. Just a minute. I think someone unmuted themselves. Just okay. Thank you. All right. So you might be familiar with this, right? You have been trying to land a job in tech. You've heard different advice. I mean, just like someone on this call, or rather everybody that responded when I asked the major struggle, and everybody was going on and on about experience. Trust me, I know that with struggle comes, ways for us to solve a problem. Like, okay, I'm going through this particular struggle. How do I prefer solution? How do I get a solution to this problem? And then we start seeking expert advice. Now, when we start seeking expert advice, we get different advice from different people. And when it comes to tech, we have some advice that are very, very famous and common. Not because these advice are not right, don't get me wrong, but is it effective enough? So what's this famous advice? One thing you would hear when you tell people you're trying to get a job in tech is they'll tell you, oh, gain the skill, right? Go learn the course. Sign up for a bootcamp, pay for Coursera, Udemy, or any of those programs, or watch YouTube videos. It's valid, don't get me wrong, right? Like I said, they are the famous advice that you would hear. The other one you hear is study for certification. Oh, take certification courses, take this exam, take that exam. It would help you, stand a better chance. That's another advice you would hear a lot. If you've been hearing any of, or rather, if you've been hearing any or all of this advice, please give me a thumbs up. You also hear build some projects, build a lot of projects in your field, in your industry. Great. Now, Kasmi confirms that he has heard this advice, or is very familiar with this advice. And trust me, it's what everybody trying to get a job in tech has been exposed to, has heard, right? So if this is the case, why is it now hard for me to get a job? I have done all of this. I have gained the skill. I have studied for certification or not, or I have built projects. Why am I still unable to land the job? That's because it goes beyond all of this advice, right? Everybody's already doing this. How do you stand out? That's the whole essence of this conversation, right? What's that thing that sets you apart? What's that thing that makes you, come across as more valuable, right? Because studying for certification, it's not invalid, but it's not enough. And it has a lot of limitations, like I said. And the limitations span from, you lacking things like theoretical knowledge because you have not been able to apply what you have learned, and also lack of soft skill. Soft skill is not something you develop by learning in isolation or watching a self-paced video on YouTube or through a bootcamp. Because in this case now, it's not a commercial setting, it's not a business setting. So you're not interacting with people on the level that would help you develop the needed soft skill. Most likely during your training, if you go through maybe a bootcamp and you have people you're learning with, the best you will get in terms of exposure to learning with these people would be, oh, you guys have assignment together. That's just it. And by the time you guys are done, that's it. It's not the same as an actual business setting. That is why certifications, bootcamps, and all of that, yes, you need it. It's valid, not like it's not valid, but it is not all you need because it's not enough, right? And certification is not something you must or need to have, right? It's not something you must have. I don't have certifications myself, right? And I have thrived in my software engineering career. So certification is not what you need because it has a lot of limitation, and this limitation would not help you get the job. Now, the real challenge, right, is not about figuring out what to do, but how to actually do it, right? So now, in terms of figuring out how to do it, you need to understand one thing. Apart from taking the right step, you must ensure that you are not stuck in the process. And I'll break that down. Now, you're taking the right step, right? You're taking the right step. You've taken the course. You've learned everything you need to. Maybe or not, you also have, taken some certification exams and the likes, and you've worked on projects, which is great. Now, but ensure that you are not stuck in an endless cycle of learning. And I will explain what I mean by that. This is not to invalidate the need for lifelong learning. No, that's not what we're doing here. This is to let you know that it is very, very important for you to switch up how you learn, because switching up how you learn is the only way you can retain what's it called, information. And information retention is how you can gain confidence, and we'll get to that. Now, there is something about the curve of forgetfulness and how it applies to your job search. Now, how does this negatively or positively impact your chances of getting a job or acing an interview, right? If you're learning, your first day of learning, right, according to psychologists, your first day of learning, you would retain the most information because bear in mind, it's still fresh. You're just learning. But by the second day, third day, and down to the 30th day, you most likely would only be able to retain 20% of that information, except you switch up how you learn, right? Now, passive learning is just going to help you retain 20% information. And when it comes to trying to get a job, it will affect your confidence. And I'd really like to ask you something in terms of learning, right? And how you've been trying to get the job. Be very, very sincere. Be very sincere. You've taken the course previously. How often do you apply things that you've learned in your, how often have you applied it? Right? I know you've not gotten a job, so I don't expect you to say, oh, yeah, because you work, you apply it every day. Now, everybody has explained that they're trying to get a job in one tech field or the other, right? And that means you've gained the skill, which is great. Now, how often do you get to apply this? Do you get to do it every day, every week, maybe twice, 3 times in a week, or just once in a while in a month, right? Chinedu says little. Exactly. Chinedu is applying the passive learning approach. Now, I would expect more response in the chat, right? Because like I said, I want this conversation to be very, very interactive. And all of this ties to how it might be affecting, you not getting a job and what you can do to get the job. So, Kalala, yes, it's possible you will get the recording of this. Okay, you have issues with your network. You will get the recording to this session. All right, moving on. But please, Kalala, make sure you fill the attendance form that my colleague is dropping. All right, and this is to everybody on this call as well. If you're on this call and you would love to get the recording of this session, please fill the attendance form that my colleague has been dropping in the chat, and you'll be able to get the slides and the recording of this session. Okay, so passive learning means you would only be able to retain little information, and this will affect your confidence on the long run. But when you're practicing active learning, meaning you're learning and doing, right, you get to retain 75 to 90% of the information across, over the period of time that you're actively learning this way. So this is me telling you that even experts are still learning. You need to keep your memory fresh. You need to be abreast of things happening in your industry. So even after getting a job, it's still advisable that you keep learning. But then because you're already practicing what you're already practicing what you've learned, that makes it easier, right? But then don't get comfortable at the end of the day. So when you adopt or practice the active learning approach, you're able to have that confidence level boosted, right? To the level that when you go in for an interview, it would really, really show. Now we will get to the part where you know get the tips on how to practice active learning instead of the passive learning, right? So from what I have explained, if you have been practicing passive, give me a thumbs up. If you've been practicing active, give me a thumbs down. All right. Passive learning, thumbs up. Okay, Johnson. Okay. Masood, Chinedu. Okay, everybody has been practicing passive learning, right? So that means, trust me, the next slides that we are going to be getting familiar with in this session would really, really help you go from being a passive learner to being an active learner in the most effective manner, right? So I've already asked the stage of the learning pyramid you're in, right? By asking if you're a passive learner or active learner. And from what we've seen, everybody is still in that, 20% information retention stage. Your skill will be rusty as a result of, being a passive learner, right? Your skill will be rusty. That's why it's very important for you to understand the need to be an active learner, learn by doing, and yeah, we'll get to, the detail about that. So now, moving on, if you have been learning for months, years, and building skills and competence, yet no job to show for it in tech, please can you give me a thumbs up? Like, and again, you all have indicated, right, that you're trying to get a job in this field, but you know that you've been learning, right, and building the tech skill, but you still do not have a job. Guys, this is the part where I would really, really love for you. And yes, I see all the reactions. Thank you. For everybody that has not been, reacting, participating, it's just a thumbs up or a thumbs down, right? So if it applies to you, just give me a thumbs up. So, but I see all of the reactions. I might not be able to call names because it's all coming, but I can see you all. So thank you very much. So I can see that you all have been learning and practicing, but still no job to show for it. But it's very important for us to understand why. Now, one thing we hear when we try to learn a tech skill is the fact that we will constantly keep hearing something. There are jobs in tech. Recruiters are hiring for tech roles. In the next XYZ number of years, jobs in tech will be booming, employers will be hiring, and survey has also shown us that. So survey backs all of this up. We do not make things up. And as you can see, this report is from the future of jobs, right? And right here on my screen, you can see that it says the 2025 Future of Job report also found tech jobs are expected to be the fastest growing roles from 2025 to 2030. And we are currently in 2025, right? Now, also tech related roles will be most in demand. And if we are now saying this statement and a lot of people in tech are still complaining of not getting a job, then what could be the problem, right? Why are you still struggling to land a job? Why is Dorcas saying, oh, she's still struggling to land a job? Why is Masood saying he's still struggling to land a job, right? And every other person that gave me the thumbs up. And one thing with every session we host at Ambari, we don't speak out problems without telling you the best way and the tested and trusted approach to solving that problem. And bear in mind, I'll be taking questions at the end of this session, right? So for everybody giving me, a hand raise, I will definitely take questions at the end of this session. So yeah, just be rest assured. So if we're saying that there are jobs in tech, why is it such a struggle for people to land jobs in tech? Now, let's look at the jobs that are even in demand. Are you currently skilled in these fields? Because yes, we have declining roles in tech and we have the ones that are booming. Which one do you currently fall under? Are you under the booming career path or not? Now, I am going to focus on the career paths that are booming. And I would always say one thing. For as long as AI is a thing, data professionals would always be in demand. For as long as we need data to build a knowledge base, right, that the AI model will be developed based off of, right, then data professionals will always be in demand. And that is why you see right here on my screen that data analysts, data scientists, and data engineers would always be in demand. If you're already in this career path, any of these three, give me a thumbs up. All right. You've already taken the course. Just give me a thumbs up. Right. So now you can see that as a data analyst, you can either work as a product analyst, logistics analyst, business analyst, marketing analyst, and the likes. I mean, everything is displaying on my screen right now. So the career prospect is amazing. And then for data science, you can work as a machine learning engineer, you can work as a quantitative analyst, you can work as a forecasting analyst, and the likes. The same thing with data engineers, right? You can either work as an AWS cloud engineer, analytics engineer, ETL developer, and you can also see the tools that you need to be very, very familiar with. By being familiar, I am not saying knowing how to use it. Remember, this session is about getting the job, right? It's about getting the job. So knowing how to use this tool is not enough. You need proof that you have gained experience working with these tools, right? Again, all of this will tie up subsequently. Now, for data analysts, you need experience working with Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI, ChatGPT, and the likes. And for data scientists, you need experience working with Python, working with AWS, working with Excel. Please note experience working with them, not, oh, I know how to use it. Experience working with it, not, I have learned how to use it. The same thing with data engineers. You need experience working with PySpark. You need experience working with Docker Studio. You need experience working with GitHub, version control, and the likes, right? So this is for the data professionals. Now, another career path that is very much in demand is project management and business analysis. Is there anybody on this call who is currently in this career path? Project management, business analysis. Can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, thank you, Ricky, Larry, Casimir, Johnson, Noel. Okay, awesome. Okay, so if you're currently in this field, I am telling you right now on this call that you have already gained the skill for a career path. Okay, thank you, Coco. For a career path that is in demand. So what's your reason for not getting a job yet? We will get there. And how do you change things from that 0 point to 1, right? So as a business analyst, you can work as a business data analyst, process analyst, functional analyst, and the likes. And as a project manager, you can work as a Scrum Master consultant, project Scrum Master, Lean Agile coach, technical Scrum Master, etc. And you can see the tools that you also need to have experience working with, not skills and, oh, I have learned how to use it. Experience working with this. I was having a conversation with someone and he said he's still struggling to get a job as a project manager. And I said, okay, have you worked, apart from, learning, have you worked on a project before? He said, no. I said, have you worked in a team before? He said, no. So there has been no project to manage. There has been no team to manage or work with or interact with. Then obviously, that's not what makes a project manager, right? So this person has been struggling because of this singular, fact. And what we did with this person is also one of the things that I will be talking to you about. Now, cybersecurity is also the other career path that is very, very much in demand because at the end of the day, everything boils down to product. Everything boils down to systems, right? Every structure, every organization is going digital. There is a digital storefront for every platform right now. Oh, build a website. Oh, build a product. Oh, build an MVP. And most of these products need some form of security, right? And protection from any form of vulnerabilities, attacks, or penetration, right? That is why cybersecurity professionals are needed, in fact, on a bigger scale, right? So if you're in this field already, can you give me a thumbs up? You've already taken a cybersecurity course. Just give me a thumbs up. All right. So as a cybersecurity professional, you need to have experience working with tools that you see on my screen, right? Wireshark, Splunk, Nmap, and just to mention a few. So, okay, awesome. We have quite a number of cybersecurity specialists on the call. Okay, great. So as a cybersecurity specialist, you can work either as a SOC analyst, pen tester, GRC, incident response analyst, network security analyst, cyber threat analyst, etc. Now, the career prospect for that is also amazing. You can choose to specialize from the get-go. You can choose to be a generalist until you figure things out. We also have the HR professionals and the financial analysts, right? So, not to dwell too much on this, but let's move on. So now, we've seen all of the career paths that are in demand, and I have explained why most of these career paths are very, very much needed. So now, based on these facts, right, and the fact that we know that companies need these, skilled professionals, then why is it a struggle? And take this from me, to be very, very honest. I mean, I hire for Amdari, right? And one thing is, it's always a struggle to fill a role. It's not that you're not receiving applications or people are not showing interest. In fact, you spend days and weeks trying to fill a role, people applying, reviewing CVs, but you're just not at that level where you can confidently say that, yes, this person is it, this person does it, right? And that's because people just think taking the course alone is enough. But what happens to showing the recruiter that they can, you know, be confident in your capacity to deliver on the job? Because the same way you want the job, they also want you. But they need to be confident that when they bring you on board, you will be able to hit the ground running from the get-go. They need to also understand that when they bring you on board, they can be confident, right? That you don't need supervision, you don't need to be micromanaged, right? If the founder can do your job, they won't have to put out a vacancy flyer that, oh, we need a cybersecurity professional. Let's say I start my company today, it's a startup, I need a cybersecurity professional. When I was introducing myself, there was no part of my introduction that said I, Omauni, is a cybersecurity professional. When I introduced the founders of Amdari, there was no part that says they are cybersecurity professionals, right? Meaning, if we want to hire a cybersecurity professional, this person needs to know his job, because we don't know your job and we cannot say we want to micromanage you. So if I want to hire you, I need to be, confident that you can do it. But the minute I see that you just gained the skill, you don't know how to do the job yet, you don't have commercial experience or anything like that, I will move on to the person that can do the job, because I can't do the job, right? And I need to be sure that you can hit the ground running from day one. That's one of the major reasons, right? So before we move here, so while the companies struggle to actually fill the senior positions, entry level roles get a lot of applicants, because, like I said, there are postings out there. Oh, we need an entry level professional with 1 to 3 years experience, etc., and all of that. But these roles are wide open, but then not a lot of people are making themselves stand out, just like the instance I gave now. So how do you make yourself stand out, right? And that's where we are getting to. Now, the real reason why people struggle to land a job, according to this generation report, this generation tech hiring revolution report that we kind of studied. So we discovered that recruiters need you to have experience. Why is that? With experience, they can be confident that you have stronger technical skills. Because remember what I said earlier, right? I said you would be able to display that confidence, right? And they would also be see that you have experience working with this tool, not you've learned how to use the tool. It's a different thing, right? Two different things. Now, they would also get to see your higher quality of work, because with experience comes quality of work. You've learned through mistakes, you've learned through corrections, constructive criticism, and everything like that, by working with a superior officer, maybe your team lead, your line manager, or someone like, yeah, or someone like a stakeholder, right? They have given you a feedback based on maybe a presentation you did or a report you gave, right? These things help you grow. But if you've never had to work with anybody and it's just been the learning, it will limit the quality of work that you can bring to the table. There will be corrections that have to be made, right? And when all of that is, like, when there is errors, corrections, because there has not been exposure to a commercial setting, then the quality of work is impacted. So when these recruiters see that you have experience, they can confidently say that, yes, your quality of work will be top notch, because even from your interview, they'll be able to tell. You would be giving them instances of what you've done, and that will show quality. Now, you would also be able to work independently. Remember the instance I just gave, right? Being an intern means you're working with people, and at that point you will get to be exposed to different things, like people who would hold your hands and people who would help you navigate the space. But getting a job means you are capable, right? So if you've not gone through the process of gaining experience in the most effective way, you would struggle with working independent, and companies don't want to have to micromanage you, right? And then there'll be less need for managerial capacity to train or mentor you. Again, you'll be coming in as a boss. And if I am not mistaken, everybody on this call is not a young professional in the general corporate world, whether corporate or even, the general hustle world. Let me just put it that way. I believe everybody on this call has been doing one thing or the other prior to taking a tech course. Am I right? Give me a thumbs up if I'm right. You've done something in other fields, other industries. You're not new to this, right? So by virtue of that, let's say the age range of people on this call will be 25 to like 30. So sorry, to like 40. So imagine starting from the scratch and being in a company where you finally get a job and you're kind of controlled too much. You also need to understand what experience does to your prestige, to your personal branding, even in your company, right? You would be highly recognized, highly appreciated, right? So when we are talking about experience, we're not just talking about how it helps you land the job, but the type of, persona you get to build around for yourself, even when you're eventually in that job. When your founder, CEO, or anyone in that stakeholder level sees the quality of work you do and how you deliver on your task, it would command respect for you, right? It will command the type of salary you also earn. So it's beyond just getting in, but also how you are perceived internally when you eventually get in. So imagine lying your way in. Oh, I have experience working here. Let's say the recruiters are not even smart enough to pick when somebody is, lying, and or when you eventually get in, you might end up, that interview and everything you said maybe something that shoots you right on the leg because of how you have painted yourself to be. So you don't want to be that person. So one thing that this experience acquisition prior to landing the job does for you is also your personal branding, right? And again, like I said, behavioral skill, everything I just said covers on that behavioral aspect, right? Because of the courage and everything else you bring to the table, right? So there is also the possibility of longer retention. Again, everything I said boils down to that. Now, applicants with work experience are assumed to have stronger technical skills. They are also able to produce high quality of work. Now, what recruiters care about is your experience and skills with proof of confidence, right? Of competence. So once they can tell that you have that competence, you are right in, right? And they will definitely give you the job. Trust me, no recruiter wants to spend the next 1 month still trying to fill up a role in the organization. So why is work experience gold? I have hinted on it, but let's take a look at it again from this report, right? Now, the number of recruiters that need you to have 6 or rather 3 years experience is 8%. The number of recruiters that need you to have 2 years experience, at least 2 years experience, is 20%. The number of recruiters that need you to have 1 year experience is 36%. And then at least 6 months experience, we have about 23% of recruiters. And how many recruiters were interviewed for this survey? 1,325 recruiters. And from that survey, we gathered this. And 7% of them don't mind you having like 3 months experience. They just want proof that you've done something in a commercial setting. Now, the ones that don't need you to have experience at all, they fall under the 6% category, right? And what are the odds or chances of getting to submit your CV to that 6% that don't need experience? It's very slim, because pretty much 94% of recruiters from this survey want you to have experience, at least 3 months experience. So it is very important for you to understand the need for chasing this experience, because it might sound unplugged, might sound like a buzzword now or something, but it's very, very necessary. And we have pointed out the reason for this, right? And why people also don't get jobs is majorly lack of experience, right? And lack of the required cultural fit. You can't have that cultural fit if you do not have experience working in a business setting. You cannot have soft skills if you've not worked in an actual setting where you interact with people. The instance I made earlier about the project manager who has been looking for a job and is yet to get the job as a project manager. And I asked her, have you worked on a project? She said no. Have you worked with a team or in a team? She said no. So there has been no team to manage, no project to manage. That doesn't make you a project manager because you don't have the needed soft skill. Interacting with people would make you discover certain aspects of your strength and weakness. And this is how you get better. This is how you improve, right? You might think you're a good communicator, but you might not be so good. You might think you're not a slave driver as a team lead, but you might just be a slave driver. How do you pick this out? How do you know this? It's from working with people, conflict management, right? When you guys had a fallout, right, while working, how was it managed? How was it navigated? How did you guys get back to working more seamlessly as a team? As a project manager, if you've never worked on a project with a team, you would not have a reason to develop this soft skill. So it would be lacking, right? So a lot comes with actually gaining this experience. So the minute recruiters can tell, they start to wonder if you can do the job, and then they pass, right? So how do you now go from job readiness to job evidence in 90 days? And what do I mean by job readiness? Yes, you gain the skill, you've learned, you've taken a course, and you have the required skill in terms of tools and all. But how do you become job ready? It's by becoming a total package, working on projects, working in a business setting and the likes. And also, of course, job evidence is you landing the job. So how do you achieve these two things, right, that I have listed on my screen? First, let's take a look at the job maths. Now, according to this job maths, learning is equal to new knowledge, obviously. Now, new knowledge is not equal to mastery at all. New knowledge is not equal to mastery because it is lacking application, right? So if you're not applying that new knowledge, you will not gain mastery. So how do you gain mastery? By constant practice. That's new knowledge plus constant application of what you've learned, right? So constant practice equals mastery. And then mastery equals experience, because the more you get better, right, in all ramifications, whether technical wise, whether soft skill wise, because trust me, having technical skill is not enough, right, to get the job and retain the job. So mastery helps you gain experience. And now experience, which is constant practice and knowledge retention, equals knowledge retention or information retention. Now, with information retention comes confidence. Remember, you don't have to try to think or try to remember anything. It's now a natural part of you, right? You have experience, you've lived this reality. Let's say you work as a business analyst, right, with an organization, probably via internship. And in the course of that internship, you worked on an AI-powered recruitment platform, and then you go in for an interview. Bear in mind, this internship 100% means you were constantly practicing, you were constantly applying the knowledge that you've gained. You're practicing with the tools that you're using, you're interacting with people, right? And that has helped you also develop a soft skill, or soft skills rather. Now, you get more confident because when you get into an interview, for example, because you lived that reality, the information flows out of your mouth naturally. You're expressing yourself from that point of view of your experience seamlessly, right? You don't need to try to remember anything because, the only exposure you had was through a course. No, that's not the case now. So you'll be able to come up with instances. What led to you guys building that AI-powered platform in the first place? What was the business challenge? You took, maybe some analysis, checked out feedback from users. They love this part of your product, but it's not really selling, probably because of a particular journey they have to take, and that makes it very tiring. So they drop off at some point or some level. You made your analysis, you discovered this, right? And then you provide a form of solution to make the product better. Or probably this AI platform is as a result of the need for you to automate certain processes for your target audience, right? You checked out what's currently happening with your existing product, and you discover that AI is the best way to make it better. And then you guys go ahead, build this AI platform. And again, when it comes to you sharing how you came about this and the work that you guys do, you will not be coming from a point of view of theory, but actual practice, actual application, right? And what led to it. And because of this extensive story that you will be telling, not story, because you will not just be, you will not be going all technical. Now, with this story comes, you exuding the side of you that shows your soft skills, right? What are the soft skills that you have gained or acquired in the course of you working on that AI product or project, right? And it might be also in the course of working on it after I was done with my analysis and I presented my findings and recommendations to the stakeholders and the founders. They approved of it because they saw yes, there was a gap or yes, there was a problem, and this recommendation I made would help us provide a major, solution to this problem. The minute they approved it, I gathered my team, and by my team, I mean the project manager that would be working on it with me. I also brought on board the UI UX designer because we needed to redesign a landing page, or we needed to redesign the said page or the entire product. And by the time the UI UX designer was done with the low fidelity mockup, high fidelity mockup, and also the prototyping and everything like that, it was ready for the developer to work on. The developer did his thing, worked on the AI model. We needed to like bring it to life, built the user interface, implemented it rather, did the front end, did the back end. If you worked with front end developer and back end developer, you would also express that aspect. You saying all of this is already showing, how well versed you are in your field. The fact that you also understand the team you have to work with because you've worked with that team before. This would be telling the recruiters currently trying to get you on board that yes, you are very much exposed to the field. Please, from this explanation I just made, if you're the recruiter, would you doubt my capacity? I would just like to know. Just type a no or a yes in the chat. If you are the recruiter and you want to hire me, and I just gave you wouldn't doubt my capacity, Charlotte. So from just this explanation, you will not doubt that this person can do the job. But how am I able to say all of this? Because it's a reality I have lived. I didn't have to practice for this line that I said. And bear in mind, interviews can fly in from any angle. And some questions can come from a response you give. How do you effect, or rather, how do you intelligently respond to these questions? It's only when you lived that reality. Thank you, Larry Johnson. Yeah, it's only when you live this reality, and that is what comes with information retention. It gives you confidence, right? And when you have confidence, you ace the interview. I have just, explained this whole interview process with this business analyst and the AI product that he built or she built, and you can tell that yeah, Omomi is confidently explaining the process she has used based on a past experience, and from your response, you don't doubt that I can do the job. That means I have just aced the interview with you being the interviewer, and I have just aced it because you were able to tell from the level of confidence that I used in explaining what I have done in the past. Now, once you ace that interview, you get the job. That's the job maths, right? That is the job maths. So if there is anything from this slide that you currently have missing, I will tell you how you can get it, the most effective way to do that. So if I was to apply to tech jobs in 2025, I will use 3 phases in 3 months, and I will explain to you now. Phase 1, I will build a strong foundation. Now, the strong foundation that I will be building would mean choosing the role that I am most interested in. Now, you all seem to have chosen the role that you are interested in, which is data analytics, data science, data engineering, and the likes. And I love the fact that you went about it the smart way, picking a role in the fields that are in high demand, because it's not just about you now. I don't know if you've read the book on You're So Good They Can't Ignore You, right? So this book majorly talks about the need for the fact that, what's it called? The job that can actually really put food on your table right now should trump passion, right? So the fact that the job should trump passion is one major thing, right? So now you've picked an in-demand job. If you now love the career path, that's an amazing thing, right? So you've picked an in-demand career path, which is data analytics, data science, data engineering, cyber security, business analysis, project management. Amazing. Now you need to use the 70 to 30 rule. Okay, Charlotte, I'll type in the author for you in the chat so that you don't get the spelling wrong. I'll type it once I am done with my presentation. Okay, but like I said, the title is Be So Good They Can't Ignore You, right? Okay, so you've picked this role, right, in the career path that you're interested in, and it's in demand, which is amazing. So use the 70-30 rule to make actual progress, which means use 30% on tutorial and then 70 on applying the concept. So that is where learning and doing comes into the picture, because it leads us to the next point, which is proactive implementation over mindless information consumption. So you don't want to keep reading and consuming information. At what point would you really practice what you've learned? Now, let me tell you one trick about learning. You're reading right now or watching a tutorial on YouTube or any bootcamp that you're enrolled in. And as you're learning, it's sinking in. You're really loving it. You understand. You're done with video one. The information is still there. You get to video two. Trust me, the level of information you've retained in video one would be dropping if you don't quickly practice that. Now you've practiced. So let's say when you were watching video one, you were applying. Say you had to install a particular software or to, let's say, PostgreSQL. You have to import, you have to download it, right? Because you want to use it for your query, right? Now, in this case now, you've installed PostgreSQL, but you didn't bother to import any data. You just keep on learning the select, what's it called, syntax. You keep learning the select all from this table, where this or that, right? And all of that, and all of your filter words and everything like that. But you are not actually trying to practice yet. You feel, oh yeah, SQL syntax is very close to English. It's so easy for me to retain this information. But trust me, you've gone past the point where the tutorial was talking about the installation of the PostgreSQL, or maybe you want to use Workbench, right? SQL Workbench or anything like that. You've gone past that, but you're still consuming the information. By the time you go back to the point where you need to install PostgreSQL, you would realize that you have to go back to your video to see how exactly they were able to maybe navigate importing a particular database or a table, and how they also highlighted the data types. You have forgotten. So you don't know, you just think that, oh yeah, it's just one video, it's just two videos, I won't forget. So you will forget. So you need to be proactive. As you're watching one tutorial video, please implement. Don't wait until you're done with this module and then done with another module. As you're watching, even if the structure you're using to learn does not have a virtual environment for practice, create your own virtual environment, right? Create your own. As you're watching, you're practicing as you're watching. That will help you retain more information. And then you need to also learn enough to move forward. This also, what I've just said, highlights it. So the minute you're learning, just know that, okay, what you've learned in this video is enough for you to take the next action of application. So don't wait until you're done with one module before you move on to the next video, right? Because this will help you retain information. So that's how you build a strong foundation. It is easy for you to keep building on this foundation subsequently because you've taken this approach of, 30-70, 30% tutorial and 70% application. And after a module, what you can task yourself with is to even try and work on one project or something related to what you've just learned. Now, phase two is to stand out to employers. When standing out to employers, I want to give you one tip, and it has to do with, working on your project. Use the build framework to write about your project. Now, you have created projects, you've worked on projects, you want to post it on LinkedIn, you want to post it on GitHub, because this is your portfolio, right? Now, you need to go the route of quality over quantity. This is because most people will always have a question around, oh, how many projects should I work on? It's not about working on thousands or hundreds, or okay, thousand is an exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying. It's about the quality. Now, using the strong foundation that I highlighted in my previous slide has already made you that thorough person in terms of learning, right? Now, that thoroughness is bring it to working on projects, right? Now, let your projects be very solid. Don't work on just easy projects or the other, don't work on any easy way out project. Work on deep, solid projects. Now, when you're posting it on GitHub, go the route of using the build framework. What do I mean by build framework? I am talking background, understanding, implementation, lessons learned, and also deliverables. Build. B for background, U for, so yeah, it's an acronym. So for background, how do you structure it? This is where you explain what problem you are solving and why the project matters. Then the understanding aspect is where you break down your thought process and how you approached the solution. If you follow this guide, it will make it easy for you to put your thoughts out in a better way, right? Now, the implementation part is how you actually built or worked on this project and the tools that you used. And then the lessons you learned while working on this project. It doesn't have to always be positive. It can be you highlighting the challenges. Remember what I said. These challenges or these lessons are things that shows the soft skill side of you. These are things that show that you have actually learned to adapt. You developed a problem solving skill because maybe you encountered a problem and then the next thing is you have to find your way around fixing that problem. I remember the first time I was working with JavaScript and I had to use it to create an hamburger on a mobile responsive platform, right? So I was building the mobile version and I did everything I could. JavaScript was trying to disgrace me. And I don't know how. And I think that would always be my moment of, feeling like a badass because I just had to hack my way around making sure that JavaScript worked. And not that Stack Overflow is not advisable for developers or anything, but I realized that sometimes I want to figure out something myself without relying on Google, right? I want to be that developer that can just write codes without having to ask questions, right? And thankfully, we did all that before ChatGPT came out. So one thing is, somebody was saying on Instagram the other day that anytime I feel stupid or dumb, I remember that I graduated and got my BSc without ChatGPT, and that was very hilarious. And that kind of applies to what I'm trying to say here. So I was able to find my way around, fixing that hamburger on my mobile version without having to consult Stack Overflow or Google. What this tells you is the fact that I am a problem solver, right? I don't need to say it that I am a problem. No, I just told you a story, and this story has helped you to see a side of me that is the problem side of the problem solve side of me, right? So this is how you talking about lessons learned can help the people reading to understand the extent or the scope of your knowledge, right? And they'll be like, this person is smart, or I love how this person thinks. Then the last one will be the deliverable, which is the final outcome and personal reflection. How did you get here? What was the final recommendation? What was the outcome? What did you achieve? And that's it. Use this build framework and you will thank me later. All right. So this is how you stand out to employers. Bear in mind, I said stand out. Everybody is already doing maybe the same thing. They will build a project, put it on GitHub. Probably the approach of talking about it is not even much, or they don't even talk about it at all. And even if they talk about it, how do you stand out? How do you make sure that your own approach of talking about it makes you come across as, a more thorough person, right? And that was also why you need to just be thorough in the approach, right? So quality over quantity. Now, apply and get hired is the next phase, which is the third phase. How do you apply? Please do not do it blindly by mass applying. Have a target. If your target every day is 5 jobs, make sure that you don't break that streak. If your target is 5 to 10, maybe you want to have a range in case of a bad day, you apply to 5, a good day, you apply to 10. Just have a range, right? And then apply. Now, you need to apply with a strategy by using a job board, by networking and engaging on LinkedIn, and tailor your resume to each role, right? And ensure you have your master resume. This master resume is the one that carries everything you've done, everything, tech related, not tech related, everything together, so that by the time you are applying to jobs, you have a more tailored one that is well suited to your tech career path. And Barry helps you with that, and I'll come to that on how we actually really help you do that. Now, hunting the hunter is another thing you need to understand. The hunter in this case is the recruiter. Now, you need to hunt them. By hunting them, I'm not saying in their dreams, but I'm saying after you've submitted your application, you need to send an email to the hiring manager and please the founders, right? Send them an email, send them a message on LinkedIn. You need to do what others are not doing. You need to stand out. You need to be strategic. You need to be intentional. Three things: stand out, be strategic, and then be intentional. This is how you can get the job. And if you apply these three strategies, trust me, in 3 months, you would get the job, right? Now, and again, like I said, whatever you've been hearing before are just famous advice. This is actually a practical roadmap that is tested and trusted. I have hunted the hunter, worked for me. I didn't send a DM to the HR. I sent it to the founder. It worked. I got the job that same day, right? Applying with strategy and using job boards. I have done that, right? It works. So you need to be very, very intentional. Okay. You need to just stand out. Now, when it comes to companies choosing somebody for a job, right? They would always go with somebody. But how do you make yourself that somebody? Let's say two people are very much qualified. Oh, you both have the skill, you have everything needed, and all of that. But one person has an experience that is more impressive. Probably they got it through internship. They would stand out, right? Why are they going to stand out? They have commercial experience. Commercial experience is important. And you can get this through internship majorly or volunteering. Now, I will explain why internship is the most effective way. It's not limited to one approach, but one is just better than the other. And like I said, in terms of picking out of two very qualified candidates, one person will still get the job. How do you make yourself that person that gets the job? That's the point of this conversation. How do you make yourself that person that gets the job, right? You just need to stand up. So don't say, oh, I think I've done so much. I think I've done enough, or I have done a lot. No, you need to do more because you don't know what the other person is also doing, right? So internship experience is the most influential factor in top hiring decisions. How do you make this influence their decision? Now take a look at this. Prior experience, according to what we see on this job board. But before I show you this or say much, I'd like to show you Reed website. So this is read.co.uk. Let me be sure you can see the screen. Yes, this is read.co.uk, and we just searched for the data scientist job role, right? Now, just to tell you how these roles are in demand, right? The last time this job was posted, which is today, they posted 136 data science roles in just one day. In the last 3 days, it's 800 plus that has been posted. So companies are recruiting. So if you're still struggling to get a job, like I said, it is because you have to implement the strategies that I have explained in this session. And how to achieve this, Amdari will show you, and we'll get to that. Now, this is a data science role posted by Blue Square. Now, let's take a look at something real quick, all right? Let's take a look. I want to go to the part where they would list maybe their, okay, yes. So this says they need you to have experience. So right here, they said, are you our perfect partner? Now, for you to be that perfect partner for them, partner, of course, it's just their way of saying, their next employee. Are you experienced in data analysis or a data science role? Now, they didn't write anywhere here that they need you to have 2 years experience, 3 years experience, 4 years. It's not here. But they said experience in data analysis or data science role. Are you experienced using Microsoft SQL Server and Microsoft Power BI? Do you have experience using it? They are not saying, do you know how to use it? Have you learned how to use it? No, right? That's not what they are asking. This is why you need to get that experience working with it. And Amdari will show you how to get that, right? Let's take a look at another one. But I want to quickly, let's take a look at another one. So let's close this out. Let's take a look at the data science role, for example. Let's check out this first one. Or before we do that, let's see the last time they posted today. 18 data analytics jobs so far. And in the last 3 days, they have posted 572 jobs. The jobs are out there. So why are you still struggling to get a job? Now let's take a look at this, right? Now, right here, it states, again, they didn't say anything around you having 3 years experience, 4 years experience, or anything like that, right? But one thing they said here is proficiency in any analytical program. Remember what I said about the job maths? You can only gain proficiency or mastery when you have constantly applied, right? Now, interesting. Here they said commercial experience with telecoms, banking, or utility industries, or within a data related consultancy company. Please, I'm not going to close this page because it's going to tie to something that I need to quickly talk to you about. Now, commercial experience simply means experience working in a business setting, experience working in an actual organization. And then these ones listed the different industries they want you to have experience working in, and also within maybe a consultancy company would be beneficial. I said something when I was talking earlier. I said there is a reason why I am saying that internship approach to gaining experience and landing a job is the best and the most effective way. And this is the reason why. This commercial experience working in a related consultancy company is why. And I will get to that, like I said. So let's come back to my slide real quick, right? So now, let's move on. So we've seen the need real time now, like real time. We went to a job board. You can also check it out yourself. Read.co.uk, and you can go to that particular job posted by Saga City and the other one posted by, and you can check the other ones. In fact, don't limit yourself just to the ones I showed you. So in real time, we have seen the need for experience and the fact that these people stated, they didn't say 2 years, 3 months, 6 months. No, they didn't say anything like that. Now, you can see right here from another job board, I got this, and this person said, I am not paid because I can write SQL. I am paid because I understand data, right? This is telling you more about the fact that beyond technical skills, you need to do more, right? So when you go for an interview, for example, and you're saying something like, I know SQL, Excel, and Power BI, I've learned it, I took a course in it, so I have that technical skill. You would not be showing as much as they want to see. What they want to hear is how you have used SQL, Excel, and Power BI to analyze a real-time business problem. And that still stems from everything I have said previously, right? In explaining what you've done before and how you did it. So beyond just the technicalities, how did you actually do it? Your build approach for talking about your projects on LinkedIn and other social platforms where recruiters can either see you is one that would really help you with this. And when you go in for an interview as well, that would really help you. Now, everybody starts from zero. I explained how I started mine as well. I also had to go the route of internship, right? I didn't even bother myself about looking for a job, to be honest. I just, immediately I was done with my course, I was just looking for the perfect place for my internship. And it was just for 6 months. And I got a job just 3 months or 4 months into that internship. And I'm not kidding, right? So Amdari is built from a place of experience of the founders and also myself, right? So it is very important for us to understand why we are, going on and on about the place of experience and how internship is the best approach there is. Now, how do you take action and get a job? You don't need to apply like every other applicant. Apply like a problem solver. And again, you're already in the in-demand career path, so there is no excuse. I have shown you how many jobs were posted on read.co.uk in just the last 3 days. So again, there is no excuse. How do you just make yourself that person that recruiters would not doubt, right? How do you communicate confidence, expertise, and the scope of your knowledge, the depth of your knowledge, right? Now, this is the bonus point, and it is the most effective strategy of the night, right? I pretty much saved the best for the last, and it is how you can get a job in 3 to 6 months with this particular strategy, and that is the internship strategy, gaining work experience via remote internship. How does Amdari help you achieve that? I mentioned something at the start of this session. This session is not just to call out, but to point you in the direction of the solution and how Amdari has been able to help professionals like yourself get to that point. So now I've been mentioning technical skills. This internship at Amdari will help you combine technical skill and experience with employability skill. How do we do that? You're coming on board with your technical skill. You've taken a course. You are not new to, the tools, the entire concept of the field and all of that, but you need experience. Now, Okay, yes, Timileyin. I would write that. Just I'll write that. Okay. So as I was saying, right, you've gained the skill. Now you're coming to Amdari to gain the needed experience. How do we help you with that? First, we pair you with our business partners. We have business partners in the UK, US, and Canada. And one of the major challenges that people have faced in this, tech job market is, oh, I'm trying to get a job in the UK, but I need experience working in a UK company. Amdari is located in Canada, but we are registered both in Canada and UK, right? And our business partners are also across these countries, Ireland inclusive. So the experience you'll be getting at Amdari is not one that is not related to the UK experience. Some of our business partners are also located in the UK. So you would be getting experience working with this. Now, this is the approach Amdari uses. It is the consultancy approach. So Amdari works with these business partners, and then when they give us their business challenge, as you can see right here on my screen, they give us their business challenge. Once they give us their business challenge, we ask business challenge to groups, as you can see right here, right? We assign the business challenge to groups. That's where you come in. Your group, you might be a data scientist, data analyst, data engineer, cybersecurity professional, PM, BA specialist, right? According to how you've been, grouped, a task is assigned to you, or a project rather is assigned to you. You work with your team, brainstorm, and arrive at a solution based on the business problem and what is required. You put your heads together, brainstorm, and come up with a solution. Once you come up with the solution, you are expected to present the solution to your team lead, right? Who is not a fellow intern, but someone with over 6 years or 8 years experience working in your field, the specific field you're trying to gain experience in. So you'll be supported by a leading expert, right? So you would do your presentation to this person. In some cases, the stakeholders would be in the picture. In other cases, they would not be in the picture. You do your presentation, and then also your recommendation, right? So once you're done with that, the next thing is you will be able to add this project to your own portfolio. That's how your portfolio is rich. First off, your LinkedIn is also optimized, right? And we help you with your total revamp. Now, I mentioned that you work with our business partners. So the number of projects you'll be working on spans from 6 to 10 in the course of 6 months. So if you're jumping on this internship program at Amdari, it is going to be within the period of 6 months. Some people go for 3 months because of their busy schedule and all of that. We do not recommend 3 months because you would work on limited projects. So we always recommend 6 months. But for the sake of people that have busy schedule or they have other engagements and all of that, they would say, okay, they want to just go with the 3 months, and we have that, right? But like I said, it's not like we recommend it, but again, because of people's schedule. Now, you'll be working on 10 projects within 6 months. These 10 projects will help you get exposed to working with a cross-functional team. It will help you get exposed to working in a commercial setting because you're working with Amdari's business partners, but as a consultant, because your CV will carry data analytics consultants, data science consultants, data engineering consultants, cybersecurity consultants, business analyst consult, etc. Right? Not intern, right? Now, because Amdari is the consulting company in this case. Now, remember what we saw here. Remember what we saw here regarding commercial experience with telecoms and working in banking industries or utility industry or with a data-related consultancy company. This perfectly describes what Amdari is doing with the internship. Consultancy and across industry experience, which is what you see right here on my screen. Just a minute, it's coming up. You can see this industry-based project and multiple industry experience. So you will be working on projects in FMCG, logistics and supply chain, healthcare, entertainment, edtech, etc. You'll be working in across different industries. So you're not coming to, like I said, 10 projects. So it's different industries. So there is no way you would have a CV that you've gotten after your internship at Amdari and we revamp it for you, there is no way you would try to apply to a job with such a CV and not stand a chance to get the job. Because again, in addition to everything that you see right here, team collaboration, right? And also multiple role experience, which is, as a data analyst, I was showing you earlier that you can work as a product analyst, you can work as a marketing analyst, depending on the project you're working on at that time. Sometimes you play the role of a product analyst on that. So imagine having all this vast experience and then we revamp your CV, we optimize your LinkedIn in such a way that it's easy for recruiters to spot you when they say they are searching for data scientists or data analysts or PMs, right? We also help you with mentorship and career coaching. And there is also interview prep and mock interview where we will play with you. We bring in a recruiter and then you have your mock interview session and feedback so that you're already building confidence. This HR expert is not somebody you will be interacting with day to day in your internship. So it will give you that vibe of, okay, this is really, an external HR person. So we work with external HR people just to give you this experience. And then there is also the job reference aspect. So you have 2 years job reference letter from Amdari. What this means is you can request for a job reference letter from Amdari 2 years after your internship. So you can start requesting during your internship, immediately after your internship, 3 months after, 2 months, or it depends on when you need it, but it is available on request within 2 years, right? And we also provide you with on-the-job support. Now, this is how this internship helps you get the much needed experience. And we have it every month. So the next cohort is starting on the 12th of April, which is next Saturday. And if you are so interested in this, can you give me a thumbs up? Like you're so interested and you want to join the next cohort, can you give me a thumbs up? Amazing, Ademi, Michael, Asmir. Okay, I believe Iyabo is indicating that she's interested. So yes, thank you. So yeah, like I said, right, this internship helps you in this manner. And the next cohort is starting on the 12th of April. For those interested in joining, you can easily secure your spot as we have a discount currently running and it is going to end in 24 hours. It is a 50% discount, right? So this 50% discount is in commemoration of International Women's Day. And this discount has been running since last month. That's March. We launched discounts in March and it's still running because we just want to give more people the opportunity to take advantage. And that's why it's going to be closing by 12 midnight tomorrow. So if anybody's interested in this particular discount, it's 50%, like I said. So instead of you paying £340 for 3 months internship, you get to pay £180 for 3 months internship. Instead of you paying £600 for 6 months internship, you get to pay £280 for 6 months. And you can pay in 3 installments. You don't have to pay everything at once. And I will show you how easily you can secure your spots, right? So you can pay in 3 installments. So just a minute. My colleague is going to drop the payment link. If you're paying in pounds or dollars, this is the dollar price right here. Oh, okay, sorry. So this is the dollar price right here on my screen, right? So again, like I said, it is no Kabir, 6 months is not available for SOC because some people want to combine the two. So you can easily go for 6 months. You can select it when you're making your payment. It's that easy, and I will show you, Kabir. I'll definitely show you that. Like I said, right, it is very much available, and it's because some people will say they want to do stock for 3 months, they want to do GRC for the other 3 months, so they can combine it. But if you want to do just one specialization for 6 months, yes, definitely, you can try that out. So yes, we have 6 months, but yeah. So if you want to pay in pounds, dollars, this is the price in dollars. Like I said, 50% off, and you can pay 3 times, right? So if you click on the link that my colleague is dropping, okay, she hasn't dropped it yet. So let me just drop it for you. If you click on this link that I am dropping on the just a minute. Okay, so let me drop the link for you real quick. Okay, so it's been dropped. So yes, like I said, right? If you click on the link on my on the in the chat, you will be redirected to this page that you see right here. All right. So let's hold on. It's coming up. You'll be redirected to this page right here. And right on this page, the image is not loading, but so you'll be redirected to this payment page. Just give me a minute, it's still loading. And like I said, I'll be taking questions shortly. All right. So yes, we are back here. So once you click on this, okay. Why does it keep taking me back? So I'll be taking questions. If you have any question for me, please, you can type or you can raise your hand. I'll be clicking as you appear on my screen. Okay. So if you click on any of these payment links that you see on my screen, right? Let's say you click on 6 months, you're interested in 6 months, you click on 6 months, you'll be redirected to this page. Okay, does this page have a problem? It's still just a minute. Well, keeps reloading itself. But I'll start taking questions while I resolve the payment page issue. So if you have a question for me, please raise your hands. Like I said, I'll be taking questions right now. So you can see the two payment platforms that we have here, right? So let's say you click on please secure your spot. You will be redirected to this page. I think the issue is fixed. So you'll be redirected to this page. Please don't forget, use the link that my colleague has dropped in the chat. And like I said, right, this particular discount is only limited for the next 24 hours. So if you would love to take advantage of the 50% off before the price goes back to the original fee, you might want to do so. And as in addition to the fact that it's only limited for the next 24 hours, again, we have just limited slots left. So if you want to take advantage before the slots are closed, we have slots for 5 more people because the internship is starting already, right? So we have slots for 5 more people, so across each program. So you want to jump on the internship and secure your spot before. Okay, still loading. Is it taking too long? All right. So do you have any questions for me yet? If you have a question, please raise your hands while we wait for the page to be done loading. Does anyone have a question? Okay, so we have a couple of hands raised, and I will take the hands. I will take the questions now. Just yes, Kabir, you can change to 6 months, definitely. You just send an email to finance@amdari, and yes, you can definitely change to 6 months. Okay, so let me start with the first person whose hand is up right here on my screen. Hi Olatunde Iyabo. So we have a lot of hands up. Hello, Iyabo. Iyabo, are you there? Okay, I'll move to another person right now since we have a lot of hands up. So hi Adeyemi. Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead with your question.
Okay, my question is for someone like me that is kind of interested in two different roles, like the data analyst and the data engineer. Is there any opportunity if I want to combine both?
Yes, you can combine both. So this is one thing we always say. If you have enough free time on your hands and you can work concurrently on both internships. Yes, you can. But if you're busy, so that you can make the most out of this experience, we would advise you to finish up with one before you move on to the next one, right? So that's one thing that we always advise. So yes, you can definitely jump on you can do the two. But again,
Yes.
and because the internship, we advise you to always dedicate at least 1 to 2 hours of your day per day, right? So, and how it works is you have a team lead. You guys would always have meetings. Like it's a proper work experience, like the typical business setting. So your team lead and your teammates, you guys would always have stand-up meetings. In this stand-up meeting, one thing that you would always do is to also have what's the word now? It doesn't have to be every day. It can be 3 times in a week. It can be 3 times in a week, can be twice in a week for your stand-up meetings. And it will be based on a time that you all agree on. So it's not like anybody would impose a time for you. That's for your stand-up, right? So yes, you guys have the stand-up, it's for status updates and everything. But you're expected to dedicate at least 1 to 2 hours in a day. We recommend 4 hours, but like I said, so people have their, current jobs and all that, but they still want to take part in this internship. That's why we always tell them that, okay, if you have a busy schedule like so, you can definitely still take part in the internship by dedicating 2 hours or 1 hour in a day. So I hope that answers it for you. So yes, you can combine the two, but make sure that you have enough free time so that it doesn't, conflict and
Yeah.
impact. Yeah.
Yeah, so the part of the question I wanted to answer is what would be like the financial implication of someone that want to combine the two?
What
Does
will
that
be the
mean
what?
financial implication? Does that mean I have to pay
Okay. Yeah. It's two different programs, so you would have to pay for the two. So instead
uh,
of you to pay, so instead of you to pay for just data analytics, you would pay for both data science, data analytics. So yeah.
thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, let's call on another person. Hi, Timilein. Okay, I have some questions in the chat. Let me check that as well. Enoch says, please, mine is data science. What is the timetable? Okay, so David, like I said, right, you're expected to dedicate at least 1 to 2 hours in a day. But the typical timetable is you work Mondays to Fridays, right? And now, in terms of how you would work, that would be between yourself and your team lead and then your teammate. So the time of the day that you guys speak for your stand-up will be decided amongst yourself. So it will not be a time that would not work for anybody on the team. That's why everybody would agree. So once you make payments and you secure your spot and we send your offer letter, that's your job offer letter, your job description, and also your welcome kit, including contract of employment, everything will be sent to your email once you make payment. And once you receive that, you'd also receive the breakdown of activities. That's the timeline for when your onboarding will be, which is next Saturday, and the time, right, 12th of April, and the time that it would happen. That onboarding is where you meet with your teammates. And meeting with your teammates on that onboarding is also where you get to like agree on your Monday meeting time. So that Monday meeting time is where there is now final agreement. Okay, this is how it's going to work for us. This is the time, and we are going to have our stand up twice a week or 3 times in a week. You also get introduced to the first project and the business partner on that project. That's on that Monday. So your project briefing will be done on the Google Meets. That's on the call, and the people you'd be working with, you'd also get to know your team on the call. So every breakdown and everything like that is right on that call on that Monday. So apart from your onboarding happening on Saturday, everything else like business partner, the business problem, challenge, and everything would be done on the call. So yes, I hope that answers it for you, David and Nogo. So Kofo says, will there be another promotion in future, please? As I am just transitioning. Okay, Kofo, hopefully, but since you said you're just transitioning, yes, Amdari is 100% for people who have already learned the skill, right? You've taken a course, you've gone to like a boot camp or something, and you've learned, right? So it's perfect for people like that. So when you're done, you can definitely come to Amdari But will there be a discount in the future? Hopefully there will be. But 50%, I am not sure. This is just a special discount for the IWD month. Okay, Gideon says, what if I don't have any experience at all but want to take cybersecurity? Gideon, you're coming to gain experience, so it doesn't matter if you don't have experience at all. It's not a prerequisite. But have you taken a course in cybersecurity, Gideon? You can type a yes or a no, or yeah. Have you taken a course, Gideon? I would like to know. Then moving on to Noel. I am a product owner. No. Okay, Gideon, you need to take the course first. You need to take the course. Noel says, I am a product owner currently working on 2 different projects, which would be equivalent, which would be an equivalent of internship. Do you perhaps have a package for someone like me who is looking for a full-time role? What we do at Amdari is 100% internship, Noel, 100% internship. And then we have the job board at Amdari where we showcase the different jobs posted every day. We fetch these jobs from read.co.uk, LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, and I'll show you all of that real quick. Okay. So let's quickly go to the job board. So we'll go to the job board real quick. It's currently loading. But yeah, let me take another question while I show you what the job board looks like. Okay. Hi, Timilein, have you spoken? Timilein, are you there? Or I should move
Yeah,
on?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
All right,
I'm
please
here.
go
I'm
ahead.
here. I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh, I don't know if in the future there will be discounts, and you've answered the questions already. You've answered most of the question, and please don't forget the name for the website that I initially wrote.
Hmm, okay. So can you say that again? The name of which website?
Where we can search for job easily.
Okay, read.co.uk. I'll type it down for you. And like I said, we have a job board on Andari, which I will show. But I want to show you how to quickly secure your spot, like I was doing earlier. So, just like I said, right, once you click on the link that my colleague is dropping for payment, it will redirect you to where you can select 6 months or 3 months. And as you can see here, you can select the currency you want to pay in Naira, pounds, or dollars. Oh, sorry, I clicked on um. Okay. So if you're paying in pounds, you can pay 3 times in any currency, by the way. So this is if you want to pay in 1 installment. This is if you want to pay in 2 installments. This is if you want to pay in 3 installments. So let's say you want to pay in 3 installments. That's you will be paying for 3 months. So you select the installmental payment you want to go with. Then click on this button that says secure spot. Once you click on this button, you will see the breakdown. If you pay today, the next one will be due in exactly a month's time, and the next one will be due in exactly another month's time. So you'll be done with your payment in June. And you click on proceed to pay, you'll be redirected to this page where you can input your name, your email address, and also your phone number. Once you click on pay for product, you would be prompted to fill in your card details. Immediately you're done filling in your card details, you would be sorry. The minute you're done filling your card details, just a minute, let me reshare my screen. Share this separate. Okay. So yes, the minute you're done filling your card details, you will be redirected to this page, right? Where you get to fill the enrollment form. It is very important for you to fill this enrollment form once your payment is made. This is how we get to send you your offer letter, job description, and also contract of employment, right? So because we get your email address, your name, your location, your phone number, and your current status. Are you a career switcher, returning to work, etc.? You click on next. Once you do that, you come here. Which internship program are you interested in? You can see that we have everything here: project management, business analysis, governance, risk and compliance, or you can just select the one that applies to you. Upload a screenshot of your payment and also upload your passport picture and then input your name. That's the name you used in making payments, right? Then have you read the terms and condition? Yes. Then click on next. All right. Once you do that, this is the final field. So when do you intend to start? Oh, I want to start on the 12th of April. I want to start on the 10th of May, or you selected project management, you will be starting on the 7th of June. How did you find out about Amdari? You can select it, and what influenced your decision to subscribe, you would also select it and then click on submit. Once we receive it on the back end, the next thing is we will be sending you your offer letter and everything else that I mentioned while I was speaking. All right. So yeah, that's how you secure your spot with the internship. So if anybody is securing their spot, please ensure Casimir, you can't pay with crypto, you can only pay with the currencies I showed you. All right. So yes, David, you can definitely apply 100%. You said you started your master's in data science. I started in January. Yes, you can. You can apply, David. Definitely. So like I said, 24 hours for the discount to be closed. So if you be securing your spot, please ensure that you fill the form. And for the people that have already made payments, please, if you've not filled the form yet, we would not be able to send you your enrollment form tomorrow. So please fill the form so that you receive your enrollment form from us tomorrow. All right. So I'll take another question. But before I do that, I would love to show you a project that our interns work on. But then, yes, let's see what the job board at Amdari looks like. All right. So the page is loading. So this is the Amdari job board. And with this internship, there is one major advantage. Somebody like David Enogo now, he says he is currently doing the course for data science in master's level. Now, if there is any crash course you want to take, you have access to it right here. You can see data science, data analytics, all of these programs have crash courses on Amdari. You don't pay for these crash courses, and the crash course is in partnership with our training partner. So let's say you want to take a crash course in Microsoft Fabrics, or you want to take a crash course in computer vision. We have all of that, right? So if I click on view all, you will see all of the crash courses that we have. Computer vision, Microsoft, you can see computer vision here, you can see machine learning, GitHub, and everything like that. Let's say we click on Microsoft Fabrics. Again, these crash courses are just to help you further enhance the knowledge that you've probably, forgotten. Remember what we said about passive learning and active learning. So you click on, you see the videos right here, course description, who the program is for, skills that will be covered and everything like that. And if you select start course, you will be redirected to the course page itself, which is right here. And you can see the videos that we have right here. So the video will play for you on the screen. Like I said, it's in partnership with our training partner. The video is loading, by the way. But yeah, the video will typically appear right here on my screen, but I think it's still loading. So I want to show you the job board. Now, Amdari job board comes with a combination of visa sponsorship jobs and jobs that are not even visa sponsorship jobs. So let's not wait too long on this. Let's go to the job board, right? So let's say this is you want to apply to jobs. Like I said, instead of going to read.co.uk, going to Indeed, Glassdoor, and all, you can see that we fetch jobs from all these platforms, and all the jobs are here. Whether it's title based or location based, you can search and you can see all the jobs that we have right here. And it goes down to 200 pages. That tells you how many jobs Amdari fetches on a day-to-day, right? So you can apply to these jobs right from here without visiting all these platforms, because we have an API that is triggered to fetch jobs from all these reliable sources, and you can just apply to it. Then we have the portfolio website. Now, on this portfolio website, you can link your GitHub URL, you can link your WhatsApp, your LinkedIn profile, and also your X account. And the portfolio website is everything that a portfolio website should be and should do, right? So as you can see right here, I introduce myself, what I do, and you can easily contact anybody. You can have this. How do you set this up? It is just by clicking on a form, filling the form, and your portfolio website is set up. And you can share the link to this portfolio website by clicking on this share icon. You can see you can share on X, Facebook, LinkedIn, or WhatsApp. And you can just copy and paste it in your CV, and it will be right there. You can add projects. even the ones you worked on externally. I think someone mentioned that he's working on external projects. You can have them here. This is your own portfolio website. You don't pay for the portfolio website. It is free. You can upload external projects or Amdari related projects right here. Like I said, you don't pay for this. You can see, you can add as many projects as you want on your portfolio website, your specialization, the tools you're proficient in. It's so easy to add. All you have to do is click on this add button, and you can add the tools that you're proficient in by clicking and then clicking on add. Once you do that, you can see that the tools I selected are all here, right? And the good thing about these tools, let's delete it. Let's delete the ones I just added. So let's delete that. Yeah. So let's say I want to add let's say I want to add PostgreSQL and my proficiency level is, let's say, 92%. You just drag this, right? Just drag it to your proficiency level, 93%, and I click on add. And when I scroll down, you can see 93%. Same thing with your skills. You can add your experience, places you worked before, your education, and they can contact you again. You have your contact details everywhere. It's so easy for them to contact you. If you want to add more to your education, it's so easy. You can see. You don't pay for this platform. You have access to it for life. That's this portfolio website. If Amdari upgrades what the portfolio website looks like right now, you don't pay for the upgrade. You don't pay a developer to set it up for you. You don't pay maintenance. You don't pay for, what's the word now? Hosting services. It's hosted on Amdari platform and you have access to it even after your internship. You can add your image, the number of tools you're proficient in, the projects you've completed, your years of experience in the field. Remember what I said, you also get to attach your social media icon, links, and also your GitHub link. So everything is housed in one. It is your proper portfolio website, right? So that's what you have access to just by using the Amdari platform. And you have access to free projects as well. This project is not even related to the internship. It's just like additional projects that would just keep making you stand out. You can see all projects. This is under data analytics, distribution network analysis, and it's an intermediate level project. The duration is 1 week, and that's how we have more and more and more. You can keep scrolling and scrolling. We have a lot of projects. Again, you don't pay for these projects just by virtue of you being an intern at Amdari. All right. So let me see if anybody has any further questions before I show you one project that our interns have worked on, and it's the business analyst interns. They worked in collaboration with UI UX designers, project manager, and also they worked with software developer. But before I show you that, let me take another question. I'll definitely get to that. Adesoya, yes, this video would be available 100%. Ensure you fill the attendance form and you would get it in your DM. All right. Gift Zara says, what's the name of the website? Please, which website are you referring to? So I can know. Ruki says, do interns have access to their portfolio for a life? Yes, Ruki. Yeah, I think I answered that already. Yes, Ruki. They have access to it even after the internship for a lifetime. Someone said I just paid. Colin, I think I missed that. Okay, Abiodun said I just paid and discovered that there is no Scrum Master. No, it's in the project management. Did you select it? Just select project management. That's the Scrum Master internship you'll be getting. All right. It's a combination of agile project management. So you get to work on projects as Scrum Master, as tech project manager, and the likes. All right. So please, have you filled the attendance form? Sorry, the enrollment form, Abiodun. If you haven't filled it, please fill it, right? Because like I said, that's how we get to, okay, please fill it. That's how we get to send you the offer letter. And that's also how we get to send you your job description and everything you'll be doing. And also your timetable, like somebody asked earlier, that's how you get it. Ruth says, please kindly paste the link to payment here. Okay, I'll paste it again. Let me get the link just now. So please, if anybody is making payment, fill the form because that's how we get to. Okay, I'll drop the link for enrollment as well. So I just dropped the link for payments, right? So the next one I'll be dropping now is for enrollment. That's Florence who just requested. Okay, Abiodun, you picked business analysis. Okay, so the thing is, we would send you an email so that you correct it on our end. But yeah, it's noted that you want project management. So when you're filling your form, also please indicate, there's a part where we say what influenced your decision. So you can indicate that you actually want project. In fact, on the form you can pick project management. Don't worry, on the form you can pick project management. It's right there. You would see it on the form. Yeah. So Florence, I just dropped the enrollment link. Please, Abiodun, you can also use this link that I just dropped to fill the form for enrollment. Anigra says, can you please discuss how I can use this internship as my work placement? Yes, awesome. Okay, so yes, you can use it because when you reach out to us, once you make your payment and secure your spot, whatever information your school needs from us, we would send it to you. We have a lot of work placement interns at Amdari right now, and they send in requirements from their school, details about Amdari, the role they'll be playing, their line manager, everything like that, number of hours they'll be dedicating to work as intern. We fill this form for you, we send it back to you. Anything your school requires from us, we give it to them. You would be interning in the capacity of the career path you want to come in as. If it's data science, data analytics, data engineering, it's all perfect for that. If your internship is 6 months, we have slots for that. If it's 1 year, we can extend your internship for that purpose, right? So you just have to let, right? And like I said, you need to secure your spot for us to fill all these materials form and everything for you. So you don't have to pay all full payment. Secure your spot with just one installment, and we will be more than happy to provide you with every detail you need. And for people who need work reference letter as well, we provide this. It carries Amdari UK address and also our UK phone number. The founder's name is also there, so they can speak to him if your next recruiter or your school wants to speak to him. All of that is available, both for the people who want to do their master's placement, and that's the work placements for masters and all that. How long do I have to pay to secure slots on promotion offer? You have to pay just once to secure your spots. Pay with the first installment, like I showed us right here. Let's reload the page. So like I showed us earlier, right? You just have to pay once, right, to secure your slot. Your next payment will be due in a month's time, exactly a month's time, right? So securing your spot is not about paying for a few months. So it's about paying once, and it's just about paying right now. And like I said, this 50% discount is going to expire. It's going to expire today. Sorry, in the next 24 hours, right? So as you can see right here on my screen, you only have to pay £93 today to secure your spot. And I mentioned that we have just 5 slots limited, and a couple of people on this call have already started securing their spot. So by the time the 5 slots is filled up, yes, Francis, that's because the discount has been on for over a month. To be honest, it's been on, and we said, okay, we want more people to benefit from this 50% discount. We were supposed to close it on the 1st of this month, but today is 5th. We're still leaving it open till 24 for the next 24 hours. So you can secure your spot, and we will be more than happy to send your offer letter in the next, once we get your payment, you start receiving your email, offer letter, and everything like that. So £93 is what you secure your spot with, right? And once you do that, your next £93 will be due in a month's time, and the third one will be due in 2 months' time. So that's how it works. Please, I have been having network issue. I hope I will get a replay. Chris, you would get a replay. Yes, yes, yes. The entire session is recorded, and just fill the attendance form that my colleague dropped. Okay, she just dropped it again. Please fill it up, and you will get the replay. You can watch the replay tonight, just if you want to quickly, make your decision so you can secure your spot before the discount ends in 24 hours, right? So if you'd love to take advantage, please do so. And so I see some people have actually secured their spot, but not all of you have filled the enrollment form. So for people who are yet to fill the enrollment form, please do so, because that is how we get to send. So I see Abiodun, I see Idinka, I see Shadan. You all are the ones that have filled your enrollment form. I have not seen the rest fill the enrollment form. So please, once you've made your payment and it's successful, just ensure that you fill the enrollment form. Okay, so let me take question from Aziz. So I said I was going to show you one of the projects that interns worked on. It's an AI-powered recruitment platform. And I kid you not, these interns have been doing amazing with this project, and showcasing this project in interviews and all of that has been giving them like a serious edge. So let me take question from Aziz. Aziz, please go ahead. I am listening. Hi, Aziz. I hope I've not missed questions in the chat box too. I'm trying as much as possible. Okay, so okay, Adeyemi, I'm just in your message. Payment made and form filled. Amazing. I think I called Adeyemi's name, right? And I was checking. I think I did. Okay, yes, I did. Adeyinka. Okay, Francis, please go ahead with your question. Aziz is not asking. Aziz, if you're unable to unmute yourself, please type your question, okay? I'll still keep checking the chat to be sure I'm not missing out any question. Florence, I hope you got the enrollment link now, because I'm not sure you have filled the enrollment form. Yeah, you've not filled it. Please fill it and let me know. Hi, Francis, can you hear me? Can you go ahead with your
Oh
question?
yes.
Okay.
Oh yes. I actually dropped my questions on the chat
Oh, I didn't
room.
see it.
Yeah, I
Okay, I
asked
think
you.
I
I
read.
asked you
Hello.
how long. Yeah, I asked you how long, and you said 24 hours.
Hello.
I said really.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can I
So,
still
Right,
talk?
Francis. Aziz, I'll come to you shortly.
so I don't know. 24 hours. 24 hours from now. You mean?
Yeah,
Or
like I
by?
said, it's because the discount has been on for a couple of months, sorry, weeks now, like over 4 weeks. So
So 24 hours from now. You mean it's till midnight or till sometime tomorrow?
midnight tomorrow. Yeah, midnight
Midnight.
tomorrow. Like midnight, yeah, to Monday. Like
Midnight
yeah,
Sunday.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Midnight Sunday. Okay. Oh, Aziz, you can go ahead now. Hello, Aziz. Okay. Aziz, can you hear me? I think Aziz has left. Hi, Ruth. Let me hear from you, lady.
Hi,
Hello, Ruth.
can I speak? All right.
Hi.
All right. Thank you so much for the session. Yeah, so I just have a quick question. So the first one is okay, so if I'm coming into intern as a project manager, so I understand you'll be working together with, I think from the discussion, with other project team. So the clarity I just want to get is, will I intern in that capacity as a project manager, or I will just collaborate together? Will I have that knowledge, that real knowledge as a project manager, or just as member of the team, like okay, I've worked on this before, like am I going to get a glimpse of that capacity, like am I going to
Okay.
function in that capacity?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. So now I'm glad that I have not even, showed us the project that I said I wanted to show us, not knowing that Ruth's question would be in line with what thing I want to show. So Ruth, let me mute you so that
Okay. Okay.
baby's voice is not interrupting. All right.
Sorry
So
about
yes,
that.
it's fine. Okay. So yes, Ruth, to answer your question, okay, Adekunle, yes, I saw your name on the form. Yeah, amazing. So, Ruth, as I was saying, right, you will be working and interning in the capacity of a project manager, not as anything less. And that's why I want to show you this. This is a project worked on. So, this is the Google Classroom. How this internship works is all your project briefs are put here, materials from your briefing meeting and everything. Now, your briefing meeting is not done anywhere else but via Google Meet, right? It's a virtual meet, and that's where you get to know the business problem that you're working on, the project first, the business problem you're solving, and the business itself. You will be introduced to it. Now, let me show you, so you can see onboarding session. We upload every video session on this classroom. It's just your resource center. Just see it as your resource center in case you missed a meeting, maybe your network was bad. Like somebody on this call was saying his network is bad. Is he going to get the recording? The same thing when your internship starts and you have any form of network glitch for whatever reason. Your sessions are be uploaded on this Google Classroom. Now, right here, you would see project brief document. Now, let's click on this. Now, this document is going to introduce us to the first project that the interns for project management work on, and it is the higher sense project, right? Now, this is the project right here, as you can see on my screen. In fact, I would love to show us another thing in addition to this, okay? So this is the document on my screen. You can see that it is for higher sense, right? And higher sense is building an AI-powered platform. Now, your job or your work on this as the, what's the minute? I want to make sure that I open up the feedback file for you to see. You would also get to understand the team you'll be working with. Okay. Now, this higher sense is an AI-powered recruitment platform that is designed to bridge the gap between job seekers and employers. What does this platform do in simple terms? I am a job seeker and I want to use higher sense platform to search for jobs. I upload my CV. The system would let me know if my CV is strong enough. Let's say I am looking to get a job as a project manager. I upload my CV, it has been optimized or, and all of that. But I am missing places where I write, oh, I have experience working with Confluence. I have experience working with Jira. The system will let me know that recruiters often look for people with experience working in commercial and who have gained business setting experience. Your CV does not show that. You need to work on that. So it's either you have gained this skill, which is the experience that the CV is, the AI is telling you to add, and you forgot to add it. You can go back and quickly update your CV with the recommendation that the AI has given based on analyzing your CV before you hit submit. Once you pass all of the recommendations that the AI has given you, that, oh, it is not just going to say your CV lacks this. No, it will tell you how to add it, what to do, right? So like I said, we don't just point out your problem, we show you how to solve the problem. That's what the system does. It tells you how to fix your CV. If the problem is that you've not gained experience, it will tell you to go gain experience. Let's say you fix your CV, you're past that level, you submit, your CV is up and live. Now, the minute your CV is live, recruiters will be able to not just notice you, but every job you're a perfect match for, the AI would let you know. So you don't have to be blind applying without strategy. The AI would be letting you know 100% right there on the call. On the platform. So 50 jobs posted today, you are a perfect match for 10. You don't have to apply for all 60 project management roles. You are perfectly fit for 10. Imagine being a project manager on this project, right? On this higher sense project, and you are telling your next recruiter everything about what you did to build this project, the team you worked with, right? Because for the recruiters too on this platform, because they have 2 users, the recruiters on this platform would be 100% using it to filter candidates. So if they post a job and 500 people apply and only 20 is a perfect match, they don't need to review all 500 CVs. They will just review just the 20. And that's how it's saving them time. And with just few clicks, they are able to save on, they're able to send invites for interviews. This person is a perfect match, invite for interview. Once you click on invite, the AI would automatically generate a Google Meet, what's it called? Because it has, and I'll show you, this platform is live and the interns have built it, and I'll show you the real platform. Now, project managers work on this with business analysts. And let's say you join this internship in January, in your case, you most likely will be the project manager on this. And let me show you what the deliverable looks like. You can see the MVP expectation, features for recruiters and features for job seekers. This was done by the interns for BA and PM. Look at the timeline as arranged and fixed by the project manager on this. And you can see everything properly detailed. Research and planning for the first 3 weeks. They did their survey and everything. There is MVP development. There is testing, unit testing, right? And feedback. There's also presentation and handover. I think they've done that already, or they are almost at that point. And you can see the deliverable. Now let's look at this site in real life. This is what the site looks like. If you were on this project, you would have the experience of saying you worked with a PA, you worked with a UI UX designer, you worked with a software developer on this project. This project, the interns would be able to add it to their CV, and they would be able to post about it on LinkedIn because it goes live and it's their work and it's what they've been able to do. Now, you see what we're saying about commercial value and commercial experience. Now, this platform is going to generate, this company, Higher Sense, will be generating revenue with this platform. If you refer any recruiter to this project and your process and everything, they would see that you actually worked on an actual business project. So it's not just, making things up or anything random. It's not simulation. So the Amdari work experience is a proper structure that aids everything else that recruiters want to see, right? So this part of it is a work in progress. I'll show you what the UI looks like right now. I hope I showed this thing. Yeah. All right. Okay, I want to show us the Figma. So this is what the Figma file looks like. As you can see, this is the Figma file. If we zoom in, can you see? So the UI UX design, and they had sprints, they had meetings, they were reviewing, they were unit testing and doing everything like that. Let me show you the dashboard. We've already seen this in the live sense. So the dashboard is still on the developer's end. That's why I am unable to show you. Look at what the pricing page looks like, which the developer is still building and working on. You can see everything that this system comes with the different payment plans, right? They have the custom pricing as well. They have the $50 per month as well. Now, let's look at the dashboard. You can see the job seekers dashboard right here. Yeah. Okay. So this is the job seekers dashboard. You can see that it's a lot, right? It's a whole lot of it. So that the experience, like I said, is really, really massive. So if I want to go into detail, we would be on this call forever. But I just wanted to show you like a glimpse of what we have right here. So just a minute. So you can see this part for job seekers. So if I want to show us everything in the nitty-gritty format, we'll be on this call forever, right? And all of this, they've built it. All of this, I don't have the access to the back end yet. That's why I can't show you on this call. That's why I said, okay, let me come to the UI. All of this, they have built it, right? So so you will not be working as anything on this project, but as an actual intern, right? So I hope that answers the question for you, Ruth. Please confirm. Hi, Ruth. Hello, can anyone still hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I thought I have unmuted. I was speaking to myself. Sorry about that. Yeah, it does. It does confirm my question. So be working exactly as the title we came in for and in that
Yes.
capacity. All right. So another thing is so before we start the real activities, the real task, is there going to be like a theoretical aspect, like a training, like an exposure to what we will really be doing before we get immersed in the real work experience, anything
Okay,
like that?
let me ask you.
Like for someone like
Okay.
me that does not really have that project manager experience, but we want to, not to mess up, like is there going to be like a theory, like a little teaching, like a brief of projects, what we're supposed to do, what we are expected to do before we launch into the real task on
Like
each
a brief
project?
of the project, right?
Yeah, and a systematic way of like letting us know what we're going to do on the
Okay.
project.
Yes, yes, there will be that. But I need to ask you a question real quick. Have you've taken a course in project management, right?
Yes, yes, this foundation certification So I'm a little bit exposed to it, but I haven't worked in the capacity as a like I've not had that practical experience. Like I haven't functioned in that capacity as a
Oh,
project, but I've been doing some few, self-learning and foundation certificates. All
all
that.
right.
Yeah.
Okay then.
But
Okay.
mhm.
Okay, perfect. So it's very important for me to know if you gained the skill yet or not. So that
Mhm.
was why I asked. So since you gained the skill, that's amazing, right? So
Mhm.
yes, there is always a brief. That was why I showed us when I was explaining. You see that document I showed you? It's a
Mhm.
brief. And then there is a meeting before the document. That's also a brief. That's where you also get to like understand what you will be doing on the project at that point in time. So the proper preparation is there. And then you have a team lead that would help you and guide you and also support you so you don't get stuck,
Perfect.
right? So
Perfect.
all of that is well covered and taken care of. I hope that answers it for you.
Yeah, it does. And lastly, sorry, please. So I'm aware project management stuff, business analyst, there are tools they use on projects. So when we get to that stage during the internship, are we going to get the tools from Dari or the companies we're going to intern for, or we get to provide the tools by ourselves?
Yeah, we provide Jira for you to use, and you use it with your team for your daily
Okay.
status reports and everything like that. We provide Jira for task management and everything. Now,
Okay.
there is also Google Meet for your typical meetings and all. The tools you'll be using will also let you know what they are projects, right? Sometimes you use Confluence, sometimes you use Draw.io, sometimes you use Miro and the like. So it depends on when you get to the point of, it depends on the project or rather the tool you'll be using on that particular project. But yes, we pretty much expose you to all of that.
Thank you.
I hope
This
that
should be the
clarifies.
last one. Yeah, thank you. This should be my last question. I'm really sorry. So from the slide you showed just now, so I could see the duration on the project, 3 months. And while you were talking the other time, I remembered you said if we're coming in for 6 months, we are going to work on like 10 projects. So if a project is the duration is like 3 months, how are we going to cover like 10 projects in 6 months, or is it going to be multiple
Yes.
projects?
Okay. So if it's 3 months, you can't work on as much project as people in for 6 months. So that's one thing we always say as well. That duration is majorly the number of projects you work on is the major difference between the durations. So if you're in for 6 months, you cannot work on, if you're in for 3 months, you cannot work on as much project as people who are in for 6 months, right? So the duration helps you work on more projects in comparison. So that's why I said at the start of this session that we recommend 6 months because you get to work on a lot of industries and a lot of projects. And yeah, but again, people who go for 3 months always have their reasons, work and timeline and all that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, so welcome. Okay, so great speaking with you, Ruth. So I hope you'll be securing your spot and joining the project management program, Ruth, before the slots are closed.
Yes, I will. I will.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Hi, Anigara. Then I'll come to Michael, and I think that will be all for today. These are the two people whose hands are still raised. So I won't be taking any more hands, guys. I'm so sorry. But if I don't answer all your questions on this call, we have a clarity call happening the entire week, right? You can sign up or rather book for that, and we will be more than happy to respond to your questions and provide clarity. But for the other people who have questions for me, I'd also check the chat. I would also check the chat to be sure that I don't miss anybody's message. Michael says, do we have in office? Do you have in-person office in the UK? Yes, we can share the address if you go for, let's say you're trying to get the reference. We always have the address included, right? So we'll put the office address and everything, location that you need, right? So I hope that clarifies it for you, Michael. But Amdari is majorly just based in Canada, not in the US. Okay. All right. I think I'll just take the last